What's up, guys? I wanted to come on here tonight to talk to you all about something that I'm sure that you all are seeing in your areas, and we're starting to see people panic buy ammo. And I know I was recently in one of the big box stores, and they were pretty much completely out of 5.56. They did still have some 223 on the shelf, but even that was going pretty fast. And I think that what we are seeing with all the conflicts, the rising tensions and stuff like that, that people are getting nervous thinking that they're not going to be able to find certain calibers. And of course, with some of the things that have happened that we've seen as far as like some manufacturers shifting just to military contracts away from civilians, you know, some of that is rooted in reality. I mean, you know, they're going to be reducing production to the civilian market, and that is, of course, going to drive up prices. But so does panic buying. And I really think it would be good for you to take an inventory of everything that you have. And, you know, there again, don't pay these exuberant prices. If you are in a situation where you're having to run out and panic buy ammo right now, then you're not paying attention to a lot of the stuff that's going on. I'll just go ahead and say that, guys, because the reality is, if you are paying attention, you should have been building up your supplies for quite some time. That being said, I think that a lot of people are forgetting much more critical things that they need to be preparing for. The way that we would be affected in this country if a major war breaks out, you know, and there again, with all of the escalation over in the Middle East, along with what's going on in Ukraine, if a major conflict does break out, it's not just ammo that you're going to need to worry about. In fact, of the ammunition that you have, you probably have more than what you would need, depending on where you live and where you are, you know, planning on being if something major does happen. And the reason that I say that, what would be hit first for us would be the supply chain. The way the average American would be affected initially is higher prices on goods and services. Prices at the grocery store will go up even more than what they already have in the last few years. Fuel prices, shortages of a lot of things that you would normally buy. That's where it's going to affect us first. Okay. Think about your life as far as what you do, what you need, what you truly need. You know, there's needs and then there's luxuries. And you're going to realize that ammo is only a small part of it. Okay. The first thing that you need to do, you're going to need food, you're going to need water source, things that you know, to sustain yourself. And there again, don't just go out and run out and buy every box of bullets on the shelf. That's a mistake. You need to learn skills. It would be a good idea if you could just some basic skills. I'm sure that many of you guys have heard of the phrase victory garden, and I think I've talked about this before in other videos. That phrase came about because of World War II, when all of the industrial effort, the industrial base of this country was geared towards the war effort. So what was happening was the average citizens were encouraged to plant gardens to help sustain themselves, to help fill in their food supply. You know, instead of having to run to the grocery store to buy something, having a small garden would give the family some additional fresh fruits or vegetables or whatever, depending on where you live. And those were very important to, you know, giving the war effort, giving the industrial base to the war effort. The same would be true now. The problem now is we have a lot more people that do not have the basic life skills that our past generations did. The majority of the people these days have no idea what a garden is. That's just the reality of it, guys. There's people out there that think that everything comes from the grocery store, and they don't know where the grocery stores get it. They don't understand anything about farming. They don't understand anything about a garden. And that's where it's going to get crazy. Those people, when they get desperate, that's when it's going to get crazy. But for now, what I would be doing, what I would encourage others to do, simply start with the basics. You know, if you want to go out and do something, build up a good food supply for you and your family. Learn a new skill. Start learning some of those essential skills that you're going to need if the event does happen to where it's, a major conflict. Because again, it's going to be the supply chain that we're affected by first for the average American. Who knows what it's going to be? There's always something going on, and the media gets everybody stirred up into a big panic. And yes, what's going on over in the Middle East, as well as what's going over in Europe, it can be concerning. I don't like the direction that we're heading in, but it cannot change from the basics of what we need to do each day to survive. But guys, it's just a rambling video, but one that I wanted to do because, I know that some crazy times out there, but at the same time, don't make it any crazier. Okay. Just calm down. Families of members of the military, my heart goes out to them. In fact, there are some folks around here I know that have been called up, and chances are they get deployed, just part of what's going on. Those are the ones that are going to be affected first, obviously. And then, we're way down the line as far as the ones that's going to be affected. But guys, just a quick video that I wanted to do. I really don't know where I'm going with it, but I thought that it was something that I wanted to talk about. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel, and we'll see you next time.